If you're feeling stuck in life, especially when you know you've been doing the inner work, this reading is going to explain why. Because what came through here is not that you're blocked, lazy, or doing something wrong. It's that there's one specific spiritual mistake that's keeping you stuck, even if you're meditating, healing, learning, and doing everything you can to grow. And once you know what that mistake is, a lot of things are suddenly going to make sense. Hi, I'm Karen from Soul Driven Tarot. If you're new here, this channel is all about practical tarot guidance for spiritual growth. Not predictions, not generalized fluff, but insight that you can actually use in your life right now. This reading is for anyone who feels stuck in their life, like they should be further along by now. You've done the work, you've learned the concepts, you're doing everything you can to live life consciously, and yet you still feel stuck. So I asked the cards to tell me what core spiritual mistake people watching this video are making that keeps them feeling stuck in life despite doing the work. And what came through was very clear. In this reading, we're going to look at the core mistake itself, how it shows up in your thoughts and behavior and spiritual practices so you can recognize it, and what you think you're doing right that's actually reinforcing the mistake, as well as what's stopping you from fully shifting it. All these things point back to one underlying core mistake. So the first question is, what is the core mistake that's keeping you stuck in your life even when you're doing the work? And for this, I get the Queen of Swords. The core spiritual mistake is that you're letting your conscious mind run the show. You're always trying to logically understand what's happening and what's coming up in your life. You let your mind formulate your goals and plans, as well as determine how things should happen and in what order. It's basically running your life instead of letting your higher self lead and having your conscious mind simply receive the information and take the next practical step from the synchronicities your higher self brings you. Your higher self doesn't deliver things in neat, explainable, logical steps. It brings you exactly what you need when you need it, often in ways that don't make sense until later. And when you override that with logic, planning, and insisting things occur in a certain way, you actually block the flow that you're trying to create. So surrender to the flow, go with things your higher self is presenting you with. It may look like madness from the outside, but when you look back on it, you'll realize that you had everything you needed right at the moment you needed it. This is what it means to live in the flow. You'll discover the skills that you thought were a waste of time learning because at the time they didn't meet your conscious mind's goals. They're actually exactly what you need to achieve your highest passion right now. So it's a question of trust. Trust your higher self and trust that it knows what's best for you. Let it determine what order you need things in, and know that everything it delivers to you is exactly what you need most in that particular moment. So basically, the core mistake is that you've been trying to think your way out of feeling stuck in your life. In this card, it's reminding you that instead of doing that, you just need to trust your higher self to guide you. The second question is, how does this mistake usually show up in your thoughts so that you can recognize it in your life? For this, I have the Queen of Pentacles. You'll see this show up as thoughts that make you want to stay in your comfort zone and keep you small. Thoughts like, that's not how you're supposed to do that. I'm not qualified to do that. I'm sure I'm not ready for that yet. I'll come back to it later. There's a huge world out there, but these thoughts do their best to keep you protected, small, and cozy in that little area where you're comfortable, fully in control and ignoring anything outside of your comfort zone. These thoughts don't feel negative, which is why they're so hard to spot. They feel sensible, but they're disconnecting you from your growth. So if you find yourself thinking about not doing something because it's different or out of your comfort zone, take note and ask yourself if the action will be genuinely dangerous or whether it's actually one of these thoughts trying to keep you small and stuck instead. The third question is, how does this mistake usually show up in your behavior? And for this, I have the Emperor. The core mistake keeps you very rigid and inflexible in your behavior. You like things to happen in a certain way. You have a routine and you frankly rather not mess with it. You're not willing to step out of that comfort zone and try something new. You've moved into what's called fixed mindset behavior instead of growth mindset. So you don't allow yourself to play and experiment at anything in case you fail. If you're not sure what I mean by fixed or growth mindset, have a read of the book Mindset by Carol Dweck. It's an awesome book and it explains a lot. When you notice yourself wanting to control how things happen in your life, so you only have to do things you know how to do, that you've done before and that you feel comfortable doing, that's when you know your higher self is pointing out this core mistake. Basically, you're feeling like you're stuck in your life because on some level, it feels too risky to move forwards. The fourth question is, how does this mistake usually show up in your spiritual practices? And for this, I have the Six of Wands. The mistake actually shows up as a kind of spiritual ego. You've grown your understanding of consciousness concepts, but you're not quite fully living them, especially when life gets tough. You understand the concepts at the intellectual level, and you think you're embodying them, but when you get triggered, especially if you're outside of your comfort zone, you find very quickly that you haven't quite integrated these concepts into your everyday life yet. And this can come down to tiny differences in understanding of a concept that causes this issue. For example, you know intellectually that when you resolve a trigger, you'll feel neutral about whatever that thing is. What people sometimes don't realize is that there's absolutely zero effort involved in feeling neutral. It's not a case of having to rationalize that you aren't angry, working on seeing things from another person's point of view, or trying to persuade yourself that the situation is neutral, and so on. When you've absolutely worked through this trigger and resolved it, it's as neutral as me telling you that you have to believe that the sun is purple. There would be a fraction of a second of, huh? And then you'd laugh and shake your head and move on with your day. You wouldn't be trying to suppress feeling angry, sad, guilty, anxious. It would simply be neutral. That's the feeling you have when you've genuinely resolved a trigger. There's no working at it. It's simply neutral. So when you're feeling stuck, keep a lookout for a spiritual concept showing up in your life that you feel like you understand, but you don't quite fully experience in your life yet. The fifth question is, what you think you're doing right that's actually reinforcing this mistake instead. And for this, I have the Sun. When you have a spiritual, pure life, but it's not 100% authentically you, that's what's reinforcing this stuckness. If you're going through a hard time, especially when you're feeling stuck in life, it's okay to show that. You don't want to pretend everything is fine when it's not. When you resist feeling something, it will simply stick around until you acknowledge it. So don't make your life look spiritual while you're struggling on the inside. That just isn't going to help you grow. We're meant to feel emotions. We're just not meant to store them long term. So if you feel frustrated, acknowledge it. Know it's perfectly okay to feel that way. Accept it, feel it, and allow yourself to move through it. If you do that, you'll come out the other side of it without any of it getting stuck to you. Being spiritual can be an identity people take on, but identities limit you. So let it go, experience every moment exactly as it comes to you, and know your higher self is bringing you every single thing you need in the exact order you need it. And whatever you're experiencing, it's there for your benefit. That benefit might be to show you what you don't want. It might also allow you to release something, or it might be something your conscious mind associates with beneficial. But whatever it is, it's helping you grow and be more of yourself. The sixth question is, what's stopping you shifting this mistake? And for this, I have the Five of Cups reversed. You have to be okay with letting go of anything that doesn't align with the authentic you. Any roles and identities you have, like being a good girl, being the peacekeeper, and so on. Any behaviors, thought patterns, habits, etc. Basically anything that isn't truly you at your core needs to go. Yes, it'll be a process, but there's no need to continue to feel like you're stuck while you're doing this work. The ultimate destination is where you are 100% authentically you, no matter what you're doing, who you're talking to, or who you're with. If something doesn't align with you, feel completely free to say no to it without feeling guilty or worrying about what others think. If there's something you want to do, you need to feel completely okay with saying yes to it again, without worrying what others think and what they might look down on you for doing it. It's essentially learned behaviors and pressure from society that's stopping you shifting this mistake. Release these and you'll stop feeling stuck in your life. So next time it rains, if you fancy it, go outside and dance. Next time you're walking down the street, smile and say hello to everyone you pass. Start small and let your higher self guide you to bigger and bigger things. If this reading resonated with you, hit the like button and pop a comment down below about what helped you most. And if you want deeper personalized guidance, there's a link in the description below as well to book a private reading with me. If you want more practical tarot guidance like this, the kind that helps you trust yourself and move forward with clarity, then hit the subscribe button and help me grow this channel. I'm Karen from Soul Driven Tarot, and I'll see you in the next video, which should be somewhere up here. See you next time.